in your simple words, because a lot of marketers do not understand what it is, how to use it, etc. What is big data for you?
So I think big data for me is just simply that we live in a really complicated world right now, and there are more connection points with the consumer than ever before. So it's just by definition, the data points and information surrounding marketing engagement have exploded. And why? Because 30 years ago, there was just offline channels that the consumer connected with, TV, radio, print, and possibly things like direct mail. And now there's all these digital components that are interacting with, and all those are spinning off data. So big data is just the fact that there's an explosion of information around consumer behavior and the way consumers interact with brands. And marketers' missions is to understand consumer behavior and that data and be able to manage it and then drive towards the strategies and outcomes they seek. So for me, big data is a function of reality of a more complicated communications environment, and it is a tall order but a necessary order for brands to understand how to manage all that information to serve the strategies they're trying to employ and spend their money more effectively than they did before.
Okay, so following that, do you think marketers are handling it colloquially? Like, do you think they are keeping up with exactly what you said, which is a more complicated communication environment?
Right, so that's a really great question. I think marketers are not keeping up with it. I don't think anyone is really keeping up with it. I think we're all trying to. But right now, you have to understand what are all the data points I need to have, know, and manage. What are the systems and things like DMPs I have to in place to store that data and be able to apply and pull out insights from it and strategies? And then how am I going to execute now against having 1,000 insights when before I maybe had 50? So I think everyone is behind the 8 ball and trying to solve for this. I think there's an entire marketplace going that direction. On one breath, it's a daunting task. On the other breath, can you imagine a more exciting place to be than in marketing right now with the explosion of what's going on and all the miles we have to go to become expert at managing big data? This is a really exciting industry to be in right now, and as a function of the complexities of the marketplace. But the answer back to your question is, I don't think anyone's mastered it, which is why we all get to keep our day jobs.
So everybody is uncomfortable, but
everyone's uncomfortable, but in an aligned mission.
And that's good. That's exactly good. So last question.
Yeah.
Maybe last? Yeah, let's do the last question.
It's all good by me.
Yeah, because the talk is going good. So you talked about big data, you talked about AI. I want to talk about the future.
Yeah.
How do you see communication in 10, 15 years?
I think it will end up being seamless to where the consumer lives. So it'll be a function of touch, of sight, of sound and voice activated, and it will be more and more predictive because I know where you're at and what you might need or what you're out of at that moment in time. So I think it is going to be driven by what we'll call artificial intelligence, and that marketing is going to go from a push-pull perspective to a completely seamless interactive experience, almost to the point where consumers won't know in the same way that it's there. Scary vision. It's almost like a world of artificial intelligence when you think about it, but I believe the systems are being set up now where there'll be a more seamless relationship between a brand and the consumer empowered by technology.
That sounds perfect, actually. That sounds comfortable.
Exactly. To some people.
To some people. To us, it sounds comfortable. To everybody here, it probably sounds comfortable. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for inspiring people, because I know a few people came up to you and said that you're inspired, and you inspired me as well. So thank you for that, and thank you for visiting IAB Poland.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.